Morning tubers, turn this radio off. Yeah, here we are again. Back to Wales for my Class 1 HGV training. We've got 4 days again, as was the 4 days of the Class 2. So I'm going to be, I don't know actually, I don't know what day one entails. I'm guessing it might be out to orientate myself on the truck and get used to it around the local industrial estate that's here. I've no idea. That's my rough guess how that's going to go today. Oh, I'm on the phone. My cradle's broken, so I'm having to hold the thing. So yeah, this is just a quick one. I've only got just over 5 minutes to get from here across the road into there, get myself registered, and then we can get cracking on it. I can see the truck sitting there ready and waiting for me. Nervous? Yeah. Confident? Yeah. Sort of confident. Well, what can I say? I've now driven 5 different Class 2 vehicles, ranging in different sizes, height and width wise, it feels like. Definitely length wise, going from quite a short stumpy one right the way back to a 3-axle Class 2. I think that was 24 tonne, classified 24 tonne, that one, and down to a 16 tonne. And you know you're getting into a bigger vehicle because the step there's 2 steps, or there's 3 steps. With these Arctics, I don't even know, it might be 4 steps to get into the thing. I don't know. And I've driven automatics and manuals now, so I know what to expect on the manual side if I'm thrown into a manual articulated lorry in a minute. I hope not. I hope it's automatic, because that's the way things are at the moment on the road. Loads of Arctic lorries around, as you see daily, and nearly all of them are automatics these days. So you just got drive, neutral and reverse. You drive, you have got a tortoise slow mode, and reverse you've got a slow mode as well, but that's your only gears. And luckily the automatic, I mean the manual, the manual vehicle I drove, which is on one of my other videos, day 1 of Class 2, that had the same gear shift as a vehicle, you know, so there was just 6 gears in the same position as you would find in your car. I don't know if you're aware, but a lot of lorries have got gears all over the place, and then you've got highs and lows, which you go into via knocking the gear stick to one left or to the right, which opens a gate and that lets you go into another set of gears. Or you've got a switch, gives you your highs and lows. I haven't come across those yet, and I hope I never have to. Talking to people that drive them, and they hate them until they get used to them. But if you get out of one with a switch, for instance, to go into a low setting, and then you're with an agency, for instance, and they chuck you in another lorry with another set of gears, you're struggling just on a standard gearbox because you're used to flicking gears to go up and down in your low gears. Yeah, it's a bit of a minefield. So, oh yeah, I'm just looking over as the gears are getting into a, there you go, that's what I'll be driving today. I think he's going to get in there and just do some checks on it, and he's going to hitch that up to the trailer that's in front of it, I think. So yeah, I'm going to go in there now, get signed in, do my daily checks. Even though he's doing them, I'm going to watch him. Oh, he's got a bloody mudguard hanging off of it. I hope they're going to fix that on there quick. Well, that's not the one I'm going to use, who knows. So I'll let you know later on. I'll update you. Speak to you soon. Bye. Hello. Here I am, day 1, and it's a lovely day actually. And we're up at a test site for reversing articulated Class 1. And I've just had a go. I've had 3 goes at it, and I'm quite happy actually. Got in there, got in the bay 3 times, had to take a shunt a couple of times, but that is allowed on your test apparently. And I'm with somebody else, there's another person, young Welsh lady, she's having a go as well. So we're doing that together. There's the truck and she's in it at the moment. And I mean, it's a bit easier for me because I've had boats with trailers, and I've towed cars and caravans and stuff over the years. So my brain's kind of remembering that, and I can reverse these not too bad for the first time ever in one. Obviously, it's different out on the road and when you get on the bays and such forth. But yeah, I'm quite confident, and have another couple of goes, and then this afternoon we're having a test already, straight in, reversing articulated class 1 test. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The guy teaching us, he's been doing it for 30 years, so he knows what he's doing. I'm well happy with him. Yeah, looking forward to it. And if you don't know what it looks like, these places, it's just a wide open bit of tarmac with some markings, and the markings show where you start from, where you start to turn, and what you look for in your mirrors, as in cones and bits and pieces. And once you've done that a few times, you get your guy comes along and tests you, who's part of the training academy, and that's it. You get your pass or you fail. You don't actually do it on your driving test. It's done by your trainers now, which for me is great. So yeah, I don't want to make it look like I'm filming her, so I'm just going to pan around. Here we go. So these lines you see across the main line that runs from top to bottom, you run your wheel along that, your front wheel along that line until you get to right where I'm standing, and then right hand down fully, reverse back a few feet until you almost get to the left line, and then from there you straighten up and then look in your mirrors, and then you move the trailer wherever you need to move it via the steering wheel obviously. And then what you do, you line these cones up, so you see that cone, first cone and then second cone, you line them up, and your trailer should run along the right hand side of those. And then once the back of the trailer gets to the second cone with its stick in it, then you bend the trailer around and stop it on the line at the back, and that's it. She's done it. She's had 2 attempts. She's never tried it before. She's never reversed a trailer before, so good on her. She's done a good job there. That's it. That's what you get on your HGV test. I'm going to ask her if she can film me when I do it again, and maybe on the actual test itself I'll ask her if she can film me, and that won't be for a couple of hours time, I don't think, because she's going to have quite a lot more tuition, and I'll get to do a few bits of driving as well on it. And I think then tomorrow, I've been told, I'm out for 8 hours. 8 hours of driving around Wales. Happy days. Christ, looks like I've got a comb over, doesn't it? Maybe I need a comb over or a buzz cut. So there we are, HGV Class 1, Day 1. Yeah, I'll come back to you shortly when it's time to do my test. Cheers. Hello. So, Day 2 of the Class 1 training here in Wales, Bridgend, and it's just been a mammoth 8-hour drive with well, we had an hour break in the middle, as you would if you're driving, I suppose, on the road, but there's no tacho when you're doing training. They don't need it, because what I didn't realise is these trainers, the vehicles you're driving, they're still not classified as commercial vehicles, even though they are commercial vehicles, because when they're training you, they're not being used commercially. So they only tax the vehicles like a car does, and so that's why you don't need to use tacho at all while you're driving it, which is really handy. You haven't got to keep an eye on your time or work hours or anything like that, so that frees your mind off a little bit. And today went really well. They dropped a bomb on me a little bit yesterday in the training for the reverse and the unhitch and rehitch. And sorry I couldn't film that, I wanted to, but before I knew it, after I'd done a few practices, the guy that takes the training, the instructor, came up and said, right, can you unhitch it, show me what you need to tell me, and then rehitch it again in the specific order that I tell you. I said, yeah, I've got to do the driving reversing first. He said, yeah, you've just done it, I've seen you do it 3 times now, so I don't need to tell you to do it and I'll watch you all over again, do I? Sweet, okay. So I've passed the reversing without knowing it, and I did the unhitch and then rehitch and told them what they needed to know on doing that. Leave me some comments if you want me to run down in detail how you do that, because you have to do it in a specific order. There's a way of remembering how to do it, and so I could leave that on for a separate video. So the reversing techniques, I could do it all on drawings. It's quite easy to follow, in an articulated, and how to remember what they want to know. You know, there's all things like the kingpin, clip. You've got to do auxiliaries, legs, and the trailer's got brakes, and the auxiliaries, when connected, put air into the trailer, then you can put the brake on the trailer. But you can't do that if you've disconnected the lines first. But I'll go through all that on another video. Please put your comments down below and tell me if you want me to do that for you, and I will do it. And it's very useful. I went through it 3 times with the trainer, and then I was tested on it with the guy that tests you, and straight through it, no problem at all. So then that brought us to today, and they told me last night that my test is on Wednesday, tomorrow morning at 8:45. I paid for 4 days. 4 days of 4 hours of training on each day. Because of the COVID issue at the moment in the country, which is quite bad all over the place, they've lost another instructor. So they've had to cram me in of 8 hours today and put my test in tomorrow, because there is a test examiner that's off as well. And so they've pushed me forward to tomorrow morning, which is a Wednesday, and I was booked in to have my test on Thursday afternoon, which would have given me another 4 hours on Thursday. So I've had to do that 4 hours today on top of today's 4 hours. So there's 8 hours I've just driven. And to be completely honest with you, and everybody would say the same, and I've heard a lot of people on YouTube say the same thing as well, if you've driven a class 2 for a bit and then you get in one of these Arctics, it's not that different. The obvious is the length and the way the thing steers around bends and corners. So that's the only thing you've got to look out for. There's nothing else to look out for. It's no wider, it's no higher, but that depends on your load, obviously. But you know, a class 2 also has high loads, so that's not really a factor when you're training. There's a, you know, the one I was in wasn't a curtain side. Yesterday was a curtain side, but today's was a box, and that was 13.8, I think it was 13.8. But there were no bridges in this area lower than 14.2, I think it was. And all the routes that he took me on today has covered everything that the training centre, not the training centre, the test centre, we've covered every route that they can possibly go on in the area, including a hell of a lot of Cardiff city. Got through it fine, all the villages and bits and pieces, and there are some 90-degree turns. There were some very narrow lanes with branches and trees overhanging where they've been lopped off but a little bit too long, so you've got to... Oh, another thing, you know, another thing they said to me that really calmed me down a bit at the beginning yesterday, and then showed it to me today, is, as I said on the other video, you can use as much of both lanes as you need when it's safe to do so. So if you're going down a 2-way traffic country lane, for instance, not lane, but you know, a B road, or an A road for that matter, if there are roadworks, if there are cones sticking out, if there are signs sticking out, or something's falling in the road, or a parked car, broken down car, whatever it is, you can just go over that line and straddle it, or go fully over if you need to, so long as it's safe to do so. You indicate past whatever that problem is there on the road, fallen trees, branches, whatever, indicate round it and off you go, and you can stay there. So if there's something further up the road and you can still get past without having to cause anyone any issues, then that's what you do. You carry on. And that's the same for going through towns. You think of your high street, or my high street in Seaford, there's cars parked down both sides, even though the right hand side going down Broad Street in Seaford has got yellow line down the right hand side. You're not supposed to park there. People do. But you go down these streets and these little villages, these little towns, and there's cars parked on the left hand side, and they're kind of on the pavement, some of them are sticking out into the road. And so I'm going 3/4 of the way into the oncoming lane, and there's cars parked sporadically on that side of the road as well, and vehicles are coming towards me, and because I'm already taken up all the road, they quickly find a spot to pull in and let you pass. And I felt like bloody Moses. Everyone's pulling out the way for me, you know, it's separating the waves. You do get a few plebs, all BMW drivers, and I'm not apologising to you BMW drivers either. Yesterday and today, just BMW drivers just think that it's their road. But you know, so that's what happens when you drive one. You go mental. Might have to take that bit out. Nah. Yeah, so I'm not going to slag loads of drivers off, just BMW drivers. And that's really it. 8 hours of driving around this area of Wales has been an eye-opener. And I clipped a curb twice. And there were traffic islands. So you got this two-way road and a school up one end of the road, and so traffic calming in that street, which was about 2 miles long, they put little islands in with just, all it is a bollard with a triangle, a curb triangle, and the point of the triangle is facing the way you're coming at it, so you can go to the left of it and it sort of guides you into that, to the left side of the bollard. Obviously there's an arrow there pointing to keep left, and the actual road curves into the pavement a bit and round and off and back onto the road again. So I'm following that round as slowly as I can, and you know, it's only my day 2 of driving an Arctic, and the trailer, I just felt it, didn't see it. I looked out the mirror and it didn't look like it'd gone up the curb, but yeah, the last of the 3 rear wheels on the trailer popped off the curb, and I felt it, and I looked over at him, and he was just grinning at me. He said, "I'll get you in a minute." He said that this had to get you. It gets everyone because you don't go slow enough. No, he said, don't worry about going slow. He said, go as slow as you want. Get it in its lowest gear if you have to. Crawl around these things, because your test is an hour long. They won't go longer than that. So if stuff takes you longer and you want to make your test not cheap, but you know, do your test in a slower way, it'll fit less in. I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'm going to drive the lorry on the streets, so I want to know everything about the streets really, but you still have to go really slow in this situation. So again, put in the comments below if you want me to explain what that looked like. I wish I took film of it. I just see, tomorrow morning I've got to go for my test. I've got to get up at 7 o'clock, get myself sorted, get straight out, go to the test centre for 6, and we're going to go out, no, not to the test centre, to the training yard jump in the wagon, and off we go. We're going to do a couple of hours in that before I go and do the test, and then from the test we'll come back to the yard. I'll get in my car and go home. If I feel like it, probably won't, or if on the radio it says the M4's knackered for some reason in this area, which it sometimes is, I might waste a bit of time and go around some of these streets on the camera in the car, and then you can see what I mean by these narrow lanes and roads that I've had to go through. That's about it really. So yeah, thanks for watching these videos. I'm going to carry on. If I pass tomorrow, obviously that's another video that's going to come up on top of this one. I'll probably splice them in together, or I don't know, might be a separate one with me jumping around doing handstands, who knows. If I fail, I'm still going to do a video, and once that video's done of me passing or failing, if I fail I'll do another one when I come back to do the test again. Bloody shouldn't fail. I mean, the guy said, you know, by 11 o'clock this morning he said I could test you now, which was good to hear. I didn't feel that confident straight off the bat like that, you know. All I kept saying to myself is, in a frigging great lorry this, and this is only the second day of driving it, and you think I can pass my test at it. The driving standards are good of this test centre, they're very good. And again, put some comments down below if you want me to tell you who the test centre is, and their details. I can do that for you. I'm sure they could do with the business, everyone can. They are actually looking for more trainers, because they're busy, but you know, you can never be too busy. They just get more trainers, and he's actually buying a couple more lorries soon, so there'll be new lorries available for whoever joins their company. And they're quite laid back, they're very friendly, the banter's good, even for people like me who are coming in and training. You know, the banter's there. You've got to be on your guard a bit with some of them. And one of them opened my lunch bag and had a good look through it. I give him a biscuit and said, "Here, I have that and fuck off." And everyone was in fits laughing, but I meant it. Leave my lunch alone. As you can tell, I like my lunch. Anyway, yesterday and today have been good days. The weather's been okay. Pissed down this morning, but that's soon dried up. There we are. So I'll give you an update tomorrow, just before the test and after the test, and we'll see where we go from there. Now, my videos going forward, I'm not sure how to do this, because the job I've just been given, I applied for a job that I can't say too much about. It's tipper driving for a large national company, and what can I say about it? Where the work is, it's in an enclosed place where there are aeroplanes, and a lot of the area where the planes go is going to be ripped up and replaced, and there are around 20 tippers, and I'll be one of them, that will be ferrying the crap that's taken up and tipped, and then bringing tarmac in and relaying sections of that said airport. What's the word? So I'm not allowed to talk about it or where it is or exactly what we're doing. That's about as much as I can say. Even I don't even know, I think I should have said that, but there we are. There's a lot of security around this job. We've all had to do a lot of security to even gain that job. So I've got 6 months contract on that. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to film any of it, so I might go quiet for quite some time. Once I get my feet in, maybe I can maybe do some filming then, if I get permission. I'm not going to break any rules and do filming behind their backs, because the minute they see it on YouTube, it's a security breach and I'll be right in the shit. So I ain't doing none of that. So yeah, I will hopefully do some more videos of the job I'm doing. You've had a few videos of me doing some trunk driving. I was hoping to do videos of all the different jobs I do, but this particular one I'm not going to be able to do. If I don't like it, I'm jumping, and I'll jump into something different. but I'm going to give it a good shot because it's well paid. So there we are. Yep, I'm going to stop now, waffling again, and I'll speak to you tomorrow on test day. Again, thanks for watching, and please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like the content that I'm giving you, and obviously get on the comments and give me any comments you've got. And I always look at the comments, I always answer back, and if you give me any negative feedback, I'll take it on board, and if it's stupid negative, you're going to get something back as well. I always reply to all my comments. So yeah, thumbs up, subscribe, and do some comments. Cheers.